What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Jared. I recently just hit 2,000 subscribers. I'm way late for doing this Ask Me Anything, Ask Jared Anything. So I have all of your guys' questions. I'm here to answer them as quick, as fun, as efficiently as possible, I guess. I don't know. We're going to go that way. Anyways, though, future AMAs, I'm going to try to do those live on my channel, get a bunch of questions from you guys, but then also do a live broadcast so then people that are tuning in can ask questions there. I just didn't have enough time to set up all of that crap. Whatever. Anyways, though, let's get into the questions. A bunch of questions. We're going to start with the Instagram ones. I got my coffee. So we're going to get right into this. Alright, the Movie Oracle over on Instagram. What's a movie quote you use day-to-day in your day-to-day life? Day-to-day life, that's a tough one, but I say, so you're telling me there's a chance from Dumb and Dumber a lot. For some reason, I always say, grab my strong hand. That's not my strong hand. Or from Heavyweights, oh look, a deli meat. I have no idea how those tie into my daily life, but I, for some reason, quote those a lot. Chris Glinky, will you ever review my greatest movies ever video? That's a video we did for school like 12 years ago. Definitely, probably on my 3rd year anniversary. I might sit down and do a reaction and review that. So stay tuned for that. Meatman over on Instagram, how do you fit into that bikini, man? Well, it's Pilates, it's a lot of strict diet, a lot of coaching, a lot of discipline. If you do that, you're going to look beautiful in that bikini. He's referring to the thumbnail photo, obviously. Have you been, James Mick1819, have you been to any film festivals? Unfortunately, I have not. I've tried to, apply to a handful for press credentials because it would make things a lot easier. Unfortunately, I'm getting shafted by everyone and anyone. One of my siblings actually just moved down to Austin, Texas, so South by Southwest next year, 2020, may be my very first one. I'm very excited. Unfortunately, I have not. I'm curious if any of you guys let me know and kind of let me know what I have to go through to get on the press or to just kind of be prepared for film festivals. Kenneth over on Instagram, would you hang out with Taron Egerton or Tom Holland? You know what? I got to go with Tom Holland. I mean, there's nothing against Taron, but I feel like Tom Holland is just a dude that is there to have fun. I mean, he's Spider-Man, obviously, but he's always at these, like, Irish pubs and UK pubs just doing his thing. So it'd be cool to just sit down and have a pint with him and just kind of get to know him a little bit more. Alex Madden, if your city was under attack by a giant monster, would you try to fight the monster like Godzilla type monster, or would you run away? Well, if he attacked my city and it was the end of it, you know, everyone's gonna he's wiping out everyone. I'm gonna say screw it. I'm gonna go out there and try to fight him and whatnot. I don't personally own any guns, so that might be a problem because like throwing a baseball or throwing like a wrench at him probably isn't going to do that much. I mean, if anything, we're going to need some high caliber energy, you know, biological weapons of sort. Maybe a railgun, so that might be hard to come by. The Greek Geek, how many eggs do you use to make a perfect omelet? Okay, this is a good question. It's 3. The answer is 3, because if you get 2, you're not going to have enough to cover and wrap up all of the stuff in your omelet. But if you're using 4, that just is too many eggs. I mean, I know that you're maybe like trying to protein load, you're working out a lot, but 3 is the magic number. 3 eggs for the perfect omelet. Hunter Dillon, who is your biggest influence on becoming a film critic, getting into the creating YouTube content? Probably tracking it back to high school. I had a high school teacher that taught us iMovie and editing and kind of filming and structuring stuff. So he was a big influence on, I guess, my creating of videos. Reviewing content and making it for YouTube, though, it's sort of a combination of a bunch of different things. It wasn't a specific critic that really got me into it. I already loved movies, but I started watching AMC Movie Talk, which then turned into Collider Movie Talk. So that whole crew of characters definitely had a big presence or influence on me. But then I also was watching Kinda Funny, Funhouse, Rooster Teeth, and all of that sort of merged into this thing where I don't entirely think of myself as a straight up film critic. I'm just a dude talking movies, but I'm here to entertain. I think entertainment is my number one thing, and then informing, persuading on films is the second thing. So it's sort of a combination of all of these different people, not specifically one individual. Rama Screen, who is your number one stand-up comedian? It has got to be John Mulaney. I went out and I saw him. Actually, he was in town probably 2 years ago. I love the guy. He is perfect. Everything about him. He's so fun, jolly, but also has this just dreary look on life. A second follow-up would probably be Aziz Ansari. I mean, I've watched all of his specials so many times, and every single time I'm laughing, having a good time. If you tracked it back like 10 years, though, 100% Dane Cook. Almost every once a month, we would sit down and watch that Dane Cook Vicious Circle stand-up, and we would laugh all the time. I have no idea why. It was the same jokes every single time, but we loved Dane Cook back then. Matt's Movie Madness. What's your favorite Weird Al Yankovic song? Oh, man, there's so many good ones. For some reason, I'm going with one that is long and weird and just does not make any sense, and it's Albuquerque. I have no idea why. I think a friend in high school would listen to that song all the time, so Albuquerque is my Weird Al song. Future filmmaker reviews, and also Tevon, they both ask the same one. Would you be interested in doing a collaboration? If you have something that's going to benefit both of our channels, a great idea, and sort of planning everything, because the reason I don't do a lot of collaborations for myself is because I hate planning. I hate depending on other people. I just need to get over that. That's something that I'm very bad at. I'm very independent, I guess. I go off and I do a lot of crap myself. I would love to do a lot of collaborations, so if you have a good idea, you have a good time, hit me up. If it works with my schedule and it works with our channels, I'll definitely be interested. Tavon, another one. Also, what's your favorite video games, movies, or TV shows from 2019? Oh, man. Okay. TV shows, it's probably The Mandalorian right now. I don't, unfortunately, have a lot of time to watch a lot of movie or TV shows. I basically listen to recommendations from my friends and whatnot, so I would say Mandalorian is probably number one for TV. Video games, did Spider-Man PS4 come out this year? Because if so, I'm going to say it's that. Otherwise, I'm right in Jedi Fallen Order right now on PS4. I'm playing that. Video game-wise, I don't know. I feel like I stick on a certain game and play it for like 2 years. So I'd been playing a lot of Star Wars Battlefront 2, which came out last year or maybe the year before that. Yeah, I play a lot of older games. Actually, N64. I played a lot of N64 as well, which that's way old. All right, Patrick. As I am graduating high school this week, as you are recording this, what is the scariest thing for you personally when you graduated? I don't know if it was entirely scary, and I slowly found it out. I went to college right away. I probably shouldn't have went to college right away, because I got a couple degrees that aren't entirely who I am. And the first year of college was very difficult for me, trying to adapt, personal stuff. I might get into that as a topic in a podcast, because that I could get deep into. So basically, I was very much depressed. It was this thing where I was in the world by myself for the first time. I was always a very independent person, so it wasn't like trying to figure out life, but it was trying to figure out what to do and how to make friends in the adult world. Because they don't teach you that in school, how to make new friends. Join clubs, do things, find like-minded people. That's probably going to be the biggest thing. But, dude, you have it figured out. You got this. And another thing, if you don't think you have it figured out, guess what? None of us know what the hell we're doing. Look at me. I'm doing movie reviews right now. I haven't a damn clue. Mainly movies. How many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop? Well, if we're going actual licks, I think the scientific number of licks, and if you're using it you're swiping your tongue just once, not up and down, that's 2 licks, in one single spot. I think it's about 131 to 167, but if you're that piece of crap owl, it's like 2 or 3, because he licks it and then he just bites it. That guy, that doesn't count. That owl is out of control. Ash over on Twitter, do you like sports? And if so, do you follow any teams? I wouldn't say I hate sports. I wouldn't say I entirely like sports. Throughout college and with friends, I'll go and watch, games and stuff. March Madness over here in America with basketball. That's probably my biggest time to watch basketball or sports because it's just all of these teams playing. You basically go to a bar and you just sit and have drinks. And I don't think it's the sports that I like. I think it's the friends, the community, and also all of the junk food and all of the booze that I drink during that. So, are you an alien? Potentially. I mean, look at me. I'm weird. And is it true you and Bongo really are in a secret relationship? Well, I cannot confirm nor deny that. You might want to reach up to my reps or reach out to Bongo himself. I will say that we have been on hiatus, I guess. We haven't had any collaborations, so there might be some rocky patches going on. Definitely reach out to him and figure it out because he hasn't been returning my calls. All right, Movie Emporium over on Twitter. Is it true the human head indeed weighs 8 pounds? Both of these questions are probably from movies, and I didn't have time to look them up. 8 pounds, I'm gonna say no. It's more of like 6.7 pounds, depending on if you're hot-headed or not. And what about bees? I hear they smell fear. Absolutely. And I actually wrote a spec script about how bees can smell fear, and it was sort of in the, 2000, early 2000s, mid 2000s, when they did Snakes on a Plane, there was a big craze about animals on different things, and I had written a script for bees on a submarine. I don't know if it's ever going to get published, or not published, but turned into a screenplay, into a movie, but yeah, bees on a submarine, they definitely smell fear. You don't want to mess with those dudes. Trivial Theater, can a 5-ounce bird carry a 1-pound coconut? Hey, if you believe it, it'll happen. Samuel One World, what music do you like listening to? So I still listen to an iPod. I don't like listening to music on my phone. I have an iPad or an iPod, and all of that music has not changed since probably 2003. So a lot of 90s, a lot of early 2000s, honestly, like ridiculous. Basically any song that was on a Now CD is crap that I listen to. Like, I love 90s pop. I love kind of, I wouldn't say techno, but like Cascade and God, I can't think of it. But that kind of stuff. I mean, just cheesy, bright, bubbly music is, I don't know, I listen to that crap. But before that, I was really stuck on the 80s, so there's a lot of 80s music I listen to as well. And I also listen to the older radio station. It's called The Bus, and it plays like 70s, I don't know, what, rock music, I guess. All right, Ty Jensen, Netflix or Amazon Prime? I'm going to go with Netflix. I've tried out Amazon Prime a handful of times, but I don't know. I know that there's a lot of good TV. I know that they have had a great movie every now and then, but I just feel like Netflix, I'm just so locked in on that. Also, Arnold Schwarzenegger or Sylvester Stallone. I'm going to go with old Arnie. Arnie's my dude, Commando, Predator, True Lies, Total Recall, Jingle All the Way. Yeah, Schwarzenegger all the way. Daniel, what's on your bucket list? Oh man, I wish I had it all written down. I want to say a handful of things. It would be awesome to work full time, being able in some sort of entertainment field, I guess, entertaining people. That's basically all I want. That's what I would love. Just trying to bring a smile to other people's faces. Maybe jumping out of a plane. I had a bunch of crap written down, and it was just very minimal, like very funny things like drink a gallon of milk in an hour, the milk challenge. I tried doing that once, made it 3/4, threw up everywhere. We're still working on that one. Most unfortunate fashion decision. I wouldn't say unfortunate, but I love dressing up. Obviously in my reviews, I'm always wearing ridiculous outfits and stuff. The first day of my senior year of college, I put up a Twitter poll or a poll on Facebook to see who would pick my outfit, and I ended up wearing these gold leather skin tight pants and the drive jacket and some ridiculous, I think, furled shirt with like some ridiculous hat. I'd have to try to find a photo of it. But yeah, I would say that that's maybe my most unfortunate, but I loved it. Rocky with Stallone, or Rocky with Schwarzenegger, or Terminator 2 with Stallone. I mean, if you had Schwarzenegger as Rocky, he would knock the head off of that guy. He wouldn't be moving quick, but he would knock the head off of him. And Stallone as Terminator 2, that'd be kind of cool. I'd probably go with that one. That one's gonna work. That one makes more sense in my head. Jacob Anders, what's your day job, or does YouTube pay the bills? No, it does not pay the bills. Currently, I don't know if you listen to my podcast, I left my full-time job because I hated it. Basically, I have no idea what the hell I'm doing with my life. So I'm working a couple part-time jobs, donating plasma, and some odd jobs here or there, plus YouTube. So fingers crossed YouTube pays out. And probably more importantly, does a honey badger actually not give a Hey, honey badger don't give a Really? We're bleeping these in my own AMA? Alright. Jamie Hughes, who would win in a race, a horse or a dog? Depends how far we're going. Depends if it's a sprint or we're doing a whole lap. And depends what kind of horse, depends what kind of dog. But I'm going to give my boy the dog. The dog's so much quicker acceleration. Top speed, not as good. But the handling of the dog is going to outweigh him. I mean, if we were comparing this, it's definitely a Yoshi and Toad situation. Yoshi is still going to win in Mario Kart. Toad, close second. Favorite horror film? The one that there's two that I've watched the most, and I wouldn't say they're my favorite because I'm not a big horror fan at all. But I've watched Wrong Turn and The Strangers so many times. I have no idea why. I feel like every time I date someone new, which I'm not saying I date a lot of people, but we always end up watching The Strangers. And for some reason, early, whenever the Wrong Turn came on, I'd watch it every time it was on TV. It's a horrible movie. Maybe it was because Elijah Dushku was in it. I have no idea. Have you ever been to see a film with the cinema has been empty? You're the only person in the screen. I didn't even read that question right. Yes, I have. Specifically this one time, I'm a huge fan of Ratchet and Clank. That movie, the animated movie, came out, and I thought it was going to be amazing, awesome, blow everyone away. I was the only one in the theater, and I felt very, very bad about it, but I was very excited too because I could see Ratchet and Clank on the big screen. There's also been a handful of times where it's been me and a girlfriend at a time, and it's just been us two in the movie theater. I can't really remember what movies those were, and it's not because we were doing weird stuff in the movie theater, okay? Stop. Amy, over on Twitter, do movie reviews ever stop being fun and turn into a chore? Yes, unfortunately they do, and that's when I don't put out as many videos for that week. There's been a handful of movies that I've gone and seen, and after I walk out, or the next day I'm trying to put my review together, and I'm just like, I do not want to do this today. I'm just not done. I love doing this, but it definitely sometimes feels like a chore if you're not getting the satisfaction back for the time and work you put into it. Do you write your reviews or just wing it? I used to, for the first year and a half, I think, I used to write the whole review. It was edited, all that crap. So basically, I have a year and a half worth of written reviews, and I went by the script. I did not go off of that. Then I started making a script and then going off of it, and now I'm making keywords or talking points and trying to essentially wing it. Basically, the only reason I'm doing that is to teach myself not to rely on a piece of paper. If you're out there, definitely try doing that. It's harder. It's very difficult because you ramble a lot, but try doing that. Alex over on Twitter, what movies make you cry? Well, I used to be a complete robot, and I showed no emotion anywhere, everywhere, movies, funerals, birthday parties, anything like that. Now, I basically cry at anything and everything. I remember, I've never even owned a dog, and they had the Dog's Purpose trailer playing before movies like a few years ago. I cried every single time. I have no idea why. But the one movie, there's one specific movie that always seems to, two movies. Simon Birch, for some reason we watch that in school all the time, just breaking down, I'm tearing up. And then Hook. For some reason, that scene with the little baby and getting left, I believe, if that's how it goes, that always made me cry too. I remember we watched that in school in kindergarten, and I have no idea why, but I was just weeping. So that is one movie. That's like my kryptonite right there. Sam One World. What music do you like listening to? Again, I already mentioned that. What movies always remind you of how much you love movies? I don't know. That's a good one. Basically, I would say almost anything from my childhood of just, I mean, Disney Plus has very much helped with this because I watched Blank Check and then Heavyweights like back to back, and that was my childhood right there. Like that, The Big Green, The Mighty Ducks, all of those kind of Disney early 90s, mid 90s movies. For some reason, it's like nostalgia, so that kind of brings me back. Ryan O'Toole, would you ever consider doing a Blu-ray collection video at some point? Curious to see what you have. Well, it's time for me to finally come clean. I have a weird thing with possessions, and I have a weird thing with money. So, I own 0 Blu-rays. The last movie, I think I've bought maybe 4 movies ever, and the first one was Night at the Roxbury on DVD. One of them was Attack of the Clones on VHS, and the other 2, I don't know, maybe The Italian Job, because I used to watch that all the time with Mark Wahlberg. So yeah, I have this weird thing with movies, or not even movies, but just possessions and money, and being able to afford. I mean, I see all of you guys going out and spending a shit ton of money. That's unfortunately not me, so I don't have a Blu-ray collection to show you guys. Ren Geekness, how much is that boob job? Hey, if you have to ask, you can't afford it. Amari, are you ready for Frozen 2? I am ready. It's coming out this week. I got my tickets already. The Greek Geek, what's your favorite guilty pleasure movie? 2 movies that come to mind. League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. Fantastic movie. If it came out now, I don't care. People are going to still crap on it. I love it. Fantastic movie. Unfortunately, we never got a sequel. And then another one that I feel like I always watch on like a lazy Saturday, a lazy Sunday, is Paul Walker and Jessica Alba in Into the Blue. I love that movie because it is just like, it hits on this weird genre type thing where it's just, you know it's not good, but it's fun to watch, and that's, for some reason, that's definitely in there. Christian over on Twitter, who do you think would win in a fight, Betty White or the Queen of England? It's got to be Betty White. I mean, she's been in Hollywood all of those years. She's definitely toughened up from that. Plus, she's had to deal with America, and America is a dangerous, dangerous place. So definitely Betty White with that one. Nick Pell, do you see yourself ever doing reviews of video games, books, or other forms of entertainment aside from movies and your occasional show? Yeah, video games are definitely on the docket, and I guess it's a thing that if the channel continues to grow and it gets to a certain point and I'm able to do this full time or able to put more time into this channel, it's going to expand into video games because I love video games. Specifically older ones, like I said, Super Nintendo, N64, I even play the Wii still. That would definitely be something I would love to do, and 7 years ago now, I did have a Twitch channel, and I tried that for a bit, but that was just too time-consuming, but I would love to get back into that, because I love just sitting down, playing a video game every now and then, and just kind of doing ridiculous things. So definitely video games in the future. Who knows how long that's going to be, though. Jack Banner, what Versus movie would you love to see happen that doesn't involve superheroes? I mean, the easy one is King Kong versus Godzilla, which is coming out. That's going to be awesome. But anything like giant robot movies, like I would love to see just another Power Rangers movie, but with the Megazord versus another just a squid-looking reptilian creature. That'd be awesome. Or, I pitched this the other day, and I think they need to redo Monster Squad and have the monsters that we're familiar with today, like Leatherface, Jason, Freddy, Ghostface, and it's basically Monster Squad, but with all of them. So all of these kids versus these horrifying monsters. Movie Emporium, does 2 + 4 = 5? Yes. No. Wait. Carry the 3. Math isn't my strong point. And lastly, Movie Man 88, what were you obsessed with as a child? That's a good question. I would say maybe Legos. I played with a lot of Legos. Video games, for some reason, whenever I got a video game back then, I would play it for like 1,000 hours. I remember playing Dynasty Warriors 4, I think it was. Played that a bajillion of hours, just doing the same exact, or trying to do different things in the same levels. And same with James Bond Night, or 007 Nightfire. I played the crap out of that PS2 game so many times. Turn on like, I think it's 4 bots versus me with remote controlled cars and rockets and snipers, and just switching it up. So I played a lot of that crap, but the one thing I would say I bought a lot and still have are Pokemon cards. I was obsessed with Pokemon, the handheld games, the show, I have coloring books, I have action figures, I guess, of Pokemon, but Pokemon cards were top notch. And I can get into a story later on in a different podcast or something, but I basically was running a Pokemon card drug deal type business at the pool I was working at, because kids would be given money from their parents to buy snacks and to feed them while they were at the pool. They would spend that money on Pokemon cards, so I was wheeling and dealing at work at the same time. Anyways, though, that is all the questions. Hopefully this video is reasonably lengthed, which is something that you do not want to hear in the bedroom. But anyways, yeah, that's me. This is the Ask Jared Anything, Ask Me Anything video for all of the questions you guys sent in. Thank you so much for sending in all of those questions. I really appreciate it. I couldn't have done this without you guys. 2,000 subscribers is insane. We're on our way to 3,000. You know, this is really picking up, and I didn't think that it would get to this point, but I'm very glad it did. I appreciate all of you guys. Thank you so much. Comment down below if you like this, if you thought something was funny, if you want to see something I mentioned in this video a little bit more.